Because you always been a type person who always got your faith and strength from God anyways. So you never was the type to worry about what man said, what woman said, who's supporting me, who likes me. That's not even your conversation. You always was the type person who can go over there even though everybody went over there. A person gonna have a hard time trying to get you to stray away from your opinion and what you like. It don't matter what they say. Because you, a long time ago, you had permission to walk alone. You've been independent probably a long time out here because you got your strength from having to walk those back roads out there. You know what I'm talking about? You got your strength for having to fight by yourself. When everybody left, you had to stand right there and hold it down still. It takes a lot of heart to be independent out here, though. You know, this is not nothing that you gain over the, you know what I'm saying, from somebody. This ain't nothing inherited. This is something that you gained over the years for being resilient. You know what I'm saying? For being patient. Because this independent stuff, once you learn that you had to walk on your own by yourself out here, by your lonely, you're going to see what other people say. You're going to see what other people think. You're going to see the fear in them because of you walking alone out here. Like I tell y'all sometimes that jealousy stuff, it ain't all about what you got, what you're driving, how much your car costs and all this. Some of that jealousy stuff, it derives from people's energy. You know, how smart they is, that wisdom they got, that inspiration that they can bring to others, how they bring others up. People see you independent out here, see you doing less with, they got way more and they can't do this. They can't lift people up. They so damn cheap-minded and self-minded, they'll never know what it feels like to be like this. You was the type that you said you never need other validations. You don't care about this man opinion, this woman opinion. Because you know if it ain't constructive criticism coming from one of your people that you trust in, then you know the naysayers, they can have their way. Because you know how people do out here. They got to flock in crowds. They got to click up. It's a reason why people at my job had to go over there and I had to just stand by myself over here. I'm going to get my blessing with you or without you. You would never make me feel this big because you in this position, because you got this type of money out here. I had my say a long time ago to walk by myself out here. Jealousy and envious people out here, they hate independent people like us, you know? Because why? We don't got to flock to the crowd. Why? Because we ain't got to support and get fake love from you. These people will walk in any crowd. They'll let anybody support them and bandwagon on their team. We not like that. We don't even support people that just to support them, you know? We support people just for the love that we got for them. If I like what you doing, I'm just supporting you. I ain't the type to just go over there to the strangers over there. I'm going to support you because I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Not many people can walk that independent lifestyle though, y'all. And, you know, you do this every day. Some of these people do this once a week, 2 days a week, and they claim that they're on the same level. They claim that they know how to walk out here alone. It's okay. Maybe they got to get their strength later. Maybe you're just the type who might be a more needier person, who works better in the group. Not to say that we can't work in a group, but we was forced to walk alone out here because of the support that we didn't receive, because of the, you know, finances that we didn't have, because of the poverty, because of the background that you had, because the people neglected you, people left you. You was forced. You didn't sign up to be a single mother, you know? You had them children and that guy left you. That woman left you. And you had to raise them children on your loan by yourself. And it's been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years now. You ain't no independent person. Your village is smaller than the other people's village out here, but you learn. You learn how to get your sunshine even when it's raining. You learn how to be resilient and get your time even when it don't seem like it's time out there. Because you know what it takes to be out here. You was forced this way and you live this way. And you learn to be a patient person by not taking any shortcuts. You know what's for you is for you, and you know that you can't go as fast as the other person because you got other responsibilities to tend to. You got kids and family members that you got to provide for outside your household. You know what I'm saying? You get your strength directly from God. And that's why sometimes people are scared of you. They see that in you and they get feared of you, you know? Because you are the head of that household. Why? Because this man don't know what it feels like to be the head of the household. Why? Because you only do this a couple days a week, 1 day a week. It's the difference when you're doing this 365 days a year compared to 2 times a week, compared to some $100 payment that you send every 2 weeks. And that's killing you. And you think that's something out here. These people out here are dependent on others out here, though. That's why they jealous of you so much. He needs to be around this man trying to get his hand out. He's looking for opportunity from people instead of looking for the opportunity within himself. That's why some of these people will never be independent out here. That's why some of these people will never walk alone. That's why you see immature people, a grown man, still living with his mama, still living with his father, still making the same excuses that he was making in high school. Where they do that at? That's why she's immature now. That's why her mother got her kids now. And that's why she's out there running the streets now. Because she never grew up yet. You was forced to be independent and you thrived at it. When you out here fighting your own battles, when you out here got to do it yourself, when you got to self-motivate yourself, when ain't nobody out there clapping out there and stands for you, and you still got to go out there and perform, it takes you to a different level. It makes your mindset clear. It makes your mindset different. Because you know, it's like, I'm all I got, and it don't make it like you a single person. Sometimes we be in relationships, wife and kids. She got a whole husband out here, but they all independent, you know. They live that independent life, and, you know, she got a small group. The village is not big as other people's village, but that's okay, though. You gained your strength for walking alone. When God give you that permission to be independent, you just got to take it. God don't give that permission to everybody, and you might have had to gain it early. You got, you know, pregnant in high school, and you had to, you know, drop out, and you had to get a job. Years later, you went back, got your GED, went to college, late bloomer, whatever it is. You wasn't scared. You took it the way God told you to do it. You took God's plan, and you ran with it, because you was meant to be this way. You was meant to be on your own. You was meant to help others. But you were meant to be an independent person. And a lot of you introverts, I know, me included, we got that in us as well, where we just love our own energy. We don't have to be around everybody. We don't do well in the group settings all the time and doing well with 10 people over here. And, you know, it irks me sometimes when they opinionated people always got something to say, you know? So you would just rather be by yourself anyway and rather do your own thing. And I know we got to work our jobs. We still got to be, you know, in the community still. But you can still walk alone and you can still do you. Don't worry about what the naysayers say. Don't worry about what these people say, thinking you changed, thinking you can't come over here with us, you can't do this with them. You got your group of people who you do what you need to do with. You on your way to excellency. Just because God told you to go ahead and walk alone. When God give you that strength to say walk independent and do your thing, go ahead and walk independent and do your thing. And you probably already doing it already because you know it's up to you. If everything fall down, if the lights go off today, who gonna help you? You probably got a couple people who can help you, but if it all fall down, you know at the end of the day, it's really on you. That's why you keep your faith in God, and you know God ain't gonna let nothing fall down. God ain't gonna give me nothing that I can't handle anyway if it does happen. You know what I'm saying? And one more note on that, if you ever seen 811, that number, that means to walk independent out here. God gave you permission to walk alone. That's all I got. Motivation comes in many forms. Lamborghini Lamar.